to today's webinar, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us. We know these are some turbulent and unprecedented times out there, and both professionally and personally. So we're really glad that you're here and to spend this next hour with us. Our host today is Apple Leisure Group Vacations, and our speaker is Jim Tedesco, the Vice President of Sales. Jim is responsible for the sales teams across Apple Vacations, FunJet Vacations, Travel Impressions, United Vacations, Southwest Vacations, and Blue Sky Tours. He joined ALGV in September of 2019 after spending 13 years in various sales and marketing roles within the retail, wholesale, and escorted touring sectors. Throughout his career, his dedication to the travel agent and their role that they play in vacation planning in that process, it's never wavered. And he continues to ensure the travel agent remains a vital component in vacation planning. And he's traveled to Capitol Hill multiple times to lobby on behalf of our industry alongside the USTOA. And as a leader, his energy and his passion is unrivaled. And he believes it's our job today to create the leaders of tomorrow. Today's topic is Apple Leisure Group Vacation Gives You More. And please remember that we do have you muted, but we welcome your questions. And you can type them into the question panel on the side of your screen there anytime. When the presentation is over, we'll take as many questions as we can. So let's turn the microphone over to Jim. Welcome, Jim.
Hey, Joni. Thank you for having me. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I don't know who that Jim Tedesco guy is, but damn, he sounds smart. I'm so happy. I am so happy to have you guys joining us today and thrilled to be talking to you a little bit about how ALGV is giving you more in the month of May. And part of that is because May is Travel Advisor Appreciation Month. So congrats to you guys and kudos to you on another, we'll say another 12 months around the sun. But I think the last 3 months alone, or 2 months alone, it felt like 5 years. So of all time to celebrate your ability to provide the best customer service, the best knowledge, and really continue to prove why you are an important part of the vacation planning process. Cannot think of a better time than now to be able to prove that, and you guys certainly have. So thank you for all you do, and thank you for your friendship and your partnership. Today, what we're going to do is just kind of go over a little bit about what's been going on at ALGV and what we've been planning for the month of May. Some of it you've already maybe taken advantage of as we are halfway through the month. But for some, it's not too late to take advantage of anything you did not realize is currently going on. So let's just go ahead and get started, and we'll definitely take some questions at the end, and feel free to pop in some questions into the chat feature as well. Look, I've been in the industry long enough to know that you certainly have choices in who you do business with and how you do business. And I cannot thank you enough for your support and loyalty, as I just mentioned, that you continue to choose us as a partner that you work with and a partner you trust your clients' vacations with. It really does mean the world to us. And there's a lot then on us to make sure that we don't take that responsibility light. So we need to make sure that we're continuing to give you reasons to trust us and choose us as your partner of choice. So three of the reasons that just kind of come off the top of my head right away is really allowing agents to have an unprecedented access to worldwide vacation destinations through our overall model. Our vacation brands really are the engine of growth, and they offer an extensive shopping experience for vacation destinations all around the world. And being that we can oversee every aspect of the client's travel experience through the vertically integrated structure that we have, from Amstar to AM Resorts and tons of other partners that we have through the hotel industry and destination management company, we really have the ability to look after you and your client from start to finish. But I understand that, just the principles of who we are aren't necessarily enough. We need to make sure that we continue to give more for you and more for them, for your clients, right? So in terms of what we've uniquely created specifically for you, and some of these are, actually all of these are fairly new, is our Waves program. And I hope that you've heard about this. The Waves program is our reward program, and you can then earn points on every booking across all of our ALGV brands. The nice thing about this is that you can spend your points however you want, from booking future travel, to actually putting them on a virtual Visa gift card. You can use that Visa gift card anywhere a Visa card is accepted. But what's really nice about this is that gone are the days where you may have a program just for your Apple bookings, a program just for your TI bookings, a program just for your FunJet bookings. You now actually, no matter where you make that booking, it all combines into one account. So as long as you're utilizing any of the brands under the ALGV umbrella, your points are getting rewarded into one account and together so that you can maximize your earning potential when it comes to cashing in those points. Furthermore, we've created the Wave Maker program. This is like another, so we have our top agency programs in each of the brands, but we wanted to make sure that we had something that honored and recognized individual agents who do a tremendous amount of business with us as well, not just the agency. So the Wave Maker program is an agents-based program that allows you to qualify for special recognition across 4 different types of tiers: Pioneer, Champion, Master, and Pinnacle. And on the website, you can see all the different details. But it actually gives you special perks where you can earn bonus reward program points. You can get discounts on fam trips. You get elite customer service phone numbers, additional marketing support and collateral, and so on and so forth. But it gives you a lot of different ways to continue to market yourself, as well as additional ways to grow your business and expedite getting customer service. We also have the Get Paid to Upgrade, and this allows you to earn 2% more on the whole land portion of many different vacation packages when you book upgraded room categories at different resorts and hotels. So it's not at every resort. It's also not at every room category. You will see a little, oh gosh, I always forget the color. I want to say it's red, but I might be wrong. It says it though. There's a little colored box next to some of the room categories, and it will say Get Paid to Upgrade, and that means you earn an additional 2% on each room that you book in that category. Now you may not see it. You know, when you do in a like a general search, it'll list 100 different hotels in Cancun, let's say, and then you click Secrets of the Vine, let's say, and down comes all the room categories. It may not be in the entry-level room category where you see when it's all rolled up, but when you click the drop down, you'll see all the different room categories, and that's where you'll start to see all the Get Paid to Upgrade options where it would be applicable. On average, this would earn you an additional $100 per booking. Then we also have ALGV 360, and I always joke when I do this presentation because by the end of it, when we get to the slide later on, I will probably have said ALGV 360 100 times, but it's one of my favorite, it's our main marketing platform, but it's one of my favorite opportunities for travel agents to really take advantage of the program. Then on the right-hand side, in terms of just for your clients, we have the Uplift program. And many people aren't aware of what Uplift is, but Uplift gives your travelers the opportunity to have a payment option to finance their vacation through Uplift's Pay Monthly option. This is a third-party provider. Uplift is a complete third-party provider. And what they do is they run a quick credit check against your client. It's kind of like taking a loan out. They then pay the booking in full. Uplift pays us in full. It's paid in full for you. You don't have to make additional payments. And then Uplift sends them what the monthly payment would be. They then have 12 months to pay that off. So even after they return from vacation, they could still technically be paying it off because it goes 12 months from the time that they signed up. Now, the nice thing about Uplift is that we see people utilize this a lot with destination weddings. And we've actually also see about a 13% increase in the total cost of their vacation when they use Uplift, because destination weddings is a great example where no one really plans on going on vacation, but they get invited to a destination wedding and it sort of comes up. And so no one has really saved for something like that. But when all of a sudden you have 12 months to pay it off, that garden view or that ocean view room starts to look a little bit more enticing than that garden view room because it's only $10 more per month now. So there's definitely a nice perk for travel agents to offer it because they typically get a higher revenue on the booking. In groups, we have personalized service with our contractor groups, but we also have the unlimited flexibility with our FIT groups. Now, a fun little tip that I just like to point out when I talk about groups is that when you do the FIT groups, you do get a promo code to then discount each of those bookings, but you have to have at least five rooms for it to count. I highly recommend you can add that promo code at any point. So quote them the full price and make sure the group knows that once they get 5 rooms, then you'll apply the discount. Because it's a lot easier if you apply the promo code first and then you only get 4 rooms, we have to remove the promo code and now they owe more money. And you're put in the position where you then have to go back to them and say they owe a bit more money. So it's easier to let them know that the promo code will get applied once they have 5 rooms. You don't have to apply it at the time of booking. You can apply it whenever. And then in that middle part, the perks that we have where we can offer both, it's a perk for you and a perk for your client with our price matching program. The price matching program, we want to make sure that you are able to compete with some of the OTAs and some competitors that may, really work in a volume business, right? And so sometimes it's tough to compete with them, but you have the ability to offer your service and you have the ability to offer your knowledge. But we all know at the end of the day, it comes down to budget too. So through our price matching program, you can price match any of our competitors as well as the OTAs. And then we have our exclusive nonstop vacation flights, which I hope some of you are in an ENVF market. And those are flights that we have across 19 different destinations, 19 different airports, gateways in the US, to a variety of different airports through Cabo and Vallarta and Cancun and Montego Bay and Dominican Republic, Punta Cana, Puerto Plata, and the list goes on. So definitely take a look at those. The nice thing about those is that you earn up to 15% commission when booking the exclusive nonstop vacation flights. And then lastly, we have our Travel Protection Plus program. This program is a great way to give your clients peace of mind. I think if there's one thing we're all taking out of the last 8 weeks, it's to please make sure you're selling Travel Protection Plus. All those with TPP on their bookings are getting their money back, no questions asked. There's no penalties, there's no fees. It qualifies for pandemic. Like, there's a lot of perks that come along with it when booking our Travel Protection Plus. It's fairly straightforward in terms of its pricing tiers as well. So, and it's good for all destinations. So it's pretty easy to make sure that you're selling the benefits, but also understanding the price point. Now, how else are we sort of giving travel advisors more during the month of May, specific for Travel Advisor Appreciation Month? Through the resources. So I mentioned earlier that we're giving more resources. Well, one of them is to support the industry through the recovery efforts. We have this whole new program called No Grow Go. And if you go to the vaxvacationaccess.com and click on the No Grow Go section, you will see that there is a tremendous amount of educational opportunities and things like that. We also have the Rebook Now, Recharge Later, and the Travel Agent Self-Help Guide. I'll go through these a bit more in a little bit. And then more ways to stand out through our latest promotions. We have a ton of incentives from May. We have an advisor spotlight, and then we also have some recovery toolkits. The recovery toolkits are pretty cool because it's all shareable social content. With us being at home, I think one of the best things travel agents can do is to start the conversation again. Start that conversation about where people want to travel to when quarantine's over, where their first vacation should be, and start just dreaming again about being on a white sand beach and crystal blue waters. So utilize the social stuff as much as you possibly can, because it really is a great opportunity to start that conversation. Excuse me. So let's talk a little bit more in depth. With the No Grow Go, and that is a tongue twister, the webinar series is 3 months. It started last month and will go through the end of June, but 3 months of really fantastic educational opportunities. Our education team, they're the greatest department in the world. They are doing webinars nonstop, every day, all day, for 3 months straight. And it's a great opportunity, while things might be a little bit slow, to hop on there and get everything from basic vax training to training on the Rebook Now, Recharge Later program, to learning how to get more knowledge on the in-depth enhancements within vax, learning Travel Protection Plus, going through ALGV 360, the list goes on. We also have some really fun ones in there too, like Java with Jim, which is a weekly webinar series I do. And we've just almost finished up our Meet Your BDM series. So it's a lot of different fun things, but also educational things. We also have the rebook now, recharge later that's going on. So that allows you to get 125% back in future travel credit and they can use that then for travel through December 15th, 2021. Now, I'll take a step back and just give you some of the updates. So we just extended this for bookings through July 31st. We have waived the change fees for June and July travel, and those bookings can qualify for the 125% credit if they want to rebook. Excuse me, if they want to rebook and take advantage of the 125. If they choose to cancel, there would still be cancellation fees from the hotel, brand, and airline that would be applicable, so they just need to keep that in mind. Same thing if they decide to rebook, we're waiving our change fees, but there still could possibly be change fees from the airline or the hotel. Those would still apply. Now, if you have travel protection, that obviously doesn't matter. But I just want people to realize that we're starting to get into a point now where destinations are open, airlines are flying. So if they do want to change, they're welcome to, and they're welcome to take advantage of the 125, but penalties would essentially apply if there are any. Sorry, I'm just taking a sip of water. We also have on our self-help page, excuse me, on backsvacationaccess.com/self-help, you can find there's 18 different scenarios, and there's a tutorial and video attached to each of them. I understand that going through the last 2 months have been nothing shy of a nightmare, and it's mainly because so many policies have changed, both from a tour operator side to an airline perspective to a hotel perspective. Knowing whether you have scheduled air versus bulk air versus our charter air, knowing whether you have travel protection or don't have travel protection, all of it affects the different outcomes. And we've tried really hard to create 18 different scenarios so that you can go in, find the scenario that fits your booking, and then follow the steps one by one to make sure that that client is taken care of the way that you feel they should. Now, some additional ways to stand out. We have our Dream Now, Travel Later program. We're trying really hard in the month of May to go out there with the first time in about 2 months now with an actual up to 65% off promo, free stays and kids stay free, complimentary room upgrades, resort credits, really trying to use April as a way to plant the seed to start trying to grow travel again. May is a way to really start getting people to dream about travel again. And then June, you'll start to see some additional things come out to really start to try and harvest the crop, so to speak, of all the seeds that we've planted the last 2 months. We've also introduced Steal of a Deal, and that is a way to get some really low offers, but they're designed to really put dream vacations within an immediate reach to try and not only get you to convince clients to rebook, but realize that there is great deals out there right now for them to rebook. They might be able to take a dream vacation for the exact same amount that they had currently put out, or now they can take advantage of the 25% and really get that dream vacation because it's certainly within an arm's reach. We also have, and this is probably one of my favorite things we've done in May, is the Save or Earn promo code. So depending on the destination, you can actually use the promo code to either incentivize your clients to help them save an extra $50 on their booking, or you can take it as $50 in well-deserved earnings. So it's called the Save or Earn promo code, and when you put that in, you can essentially pick whether you want it to be passed along to the clients or whether you want it to be passed along to you as bonus commission. We also have the free best price guarantee on all brands. So for the month of May, if you were to book, we are, whether they add travel protection or not, by the way, we're allowing you to make one change free of charge. So if you have clients that are hesitant, they're not sure about booking, with everything going on, you can tell them, even if they don't take TPP, which we highly recommend they do, they can have one change fee waived during the course of the booking. We're also giving up to 3,000 waves points for certain bookings. So you can earn waves on every booking, plus an additional 2,000 wave points for select suppliers. plus you can earn $1,000 additional Waves points if you were to add travel protection to the booking. So that's all valid through the end of May 31st as well. On the group side, for contracted groups, you can actually earn up to $1,000 group credit depending on the size of the group. And then our sister company, AM Resorts, has a really good deal. Their Cinco de Mayo sale, which runs the entire month, where you can actually save up to 45%, $200 in resort coupons, kids stay and eat free or eat free. But you can earn up to 7% bonus commission on certain room upgrades. So just like the 2% get paid to upgrade, when you go to a AM Resort on Vax and you click the drop down, you will see the bonus commission and the percentage listed. So you will know specifically how much money additional you will be making. In terms of some additional recognition, we are actually doing on Vax, if we could recognize every single one of you, we absolutely would. But our BDMs have nominated a few agents across the U.S. who are have done everything from led local ASTA chapters to created local travel agency appreciation groups and have done things within the community from a charitable perspective. Things that recognition for agents that have really taken their knowledge and passion for the industry and made sure that it's shined really bright to all aspects of the community that they operate in. So we're taking the opportunity to put some spotlight on those advisors, and those profiles can all be found on the Vax Vacation Access page as well. And you may see some social media posts as well throughout the month. Now, here's my favorite part, as I said earlier. With ALGV 360, this is a absolute one-of-a-kind, one portal, every degree of marketing covered, 360-degree approach for you, all in one place. So consider it your one-stop shop. Consider it a place where you don't have to think about what to do. It's already been thought out for you. So you would go to algv360.com. You'd have to sign up, and then we would send you your username and password. Once you're in, let me go to the next page, it has a ton of different ways for you to then promote yourself. So in the Recovery Toolkit, we have the Ready, Set, Go video series. In April, we released a video called Ready, and it was really kind of like the motto behind it was when you're ready, we're ready. And it was a great, very emotionally driven video. It can be found on the YouTube page as well, and I highly recommend you download it and put it on your social pages. And then in May, that was our set video, and that will be released any day now, actually, I believe. And then June will be our Go video. All three of these videos are designed to help bring back that passion in your customers to want to travel again. We're also doing something called Someday Getaway. And these are going to be destination videos for those 7 destinations you see on your screen, but they're designed to help give you some, consider it like a virtual fan trip almost, an opportunity to really sample what the destination has to offer without leaving your couch. So that when your clients are ready and when the vacation business does start to bounce back, because we know it will, you'll be ready and feel fully prepared to sell those destinations. We also have a ton of social media assets. I mentioned earlier about the Dream Now, Travel Later campaign, and all of these fall in line with it, but each brand, when you go to ALGV 360, you can select which brand is your preferred brand, and then all different social media assets will pop up. But I believe the next one, yeah. So I mentioned earlier about starting that conversation, right? And it's so easy to start that conversation again through social media. So we've created the hashtag for the love of travel, and I invite you all to please download these images and post it. But they're really breathtaking images, but then the little thought box in there that asks the question from what's the best beach in the Caribbean, where's the best place to watch a sunset, what are the best destinations for golf courses, things to post and get your friends and clients start talking again. It's also a great way to get some insight into where they may be thinking for their first vacation or what information you might be able to send them. So it's a nice way to get the conversation going, but also get in from a marketing perspective where you should probably send marketing materials to them directed at something they're interested in. We also have these recovery toolkit stickers. So you can download the sticker and then you put your picture behind it. And then for your profile picture, you have the Dream Now, Travel Later, Don't Cancel, Rebook Your Travel sticker. We also have virtual backgrounds. So if anyone is on Zoom a lot, I know I've downloaded a few of these. We have both videos as well as still images that you can download and set them as your Zoom background. I actually have quite a, I have some meetings, and every time I change the background and people wait to see where I'm going to be every time I sign in. And then we also have these gratitude e-cards. One thing that I love about Apple Leisure Group is that the concept of gratitude is a very strong focus for our business. We start many of our meetings with a gratitude focus. And so we're kind of paying this forward as well and allowing you to download some of these gratitude e-cards if you'd like. You can easily put in some information and your agency information, send some thank you cards just for support and loyalty to some of your clients. If they've reached out to you, sent you anything, even if they just, you know, they've just been working with you for a while and you want to reach out and thank them and remind them that you're still there. These are great ways to have a very professional looking email with an image that you can easily download, plug in all your information and write your own letter, and then send it off to them through email. We're also trying our best to stay connected with you guys. So we've done some recent town halls. Those have actually all completed now. But we've also been doing the Get to Know Your BDM. So we just did the host team today. We still have the West. If there's anyone out West, you are welcome to join in and see your team out West tomorrow at 11 p.m. Central. Oh, that's wrong. 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Actually, I'm just looking at that. Now I have to go back and look because it's not 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's certainly not 11. I think it's 11 a.m. Pacific. It's on Vax. I can find out and send it there after the fact. But what we'll do is if you're in the West Coast, I know that we've done multi-brand. I know that we have had some furloughs, and a lot of people don't know who their rep is. So I'm going to be doing a video webinar with them. It's really just a lot of fun. It's funny questions. It's get to know them. It's for us to get to know you a bit. It's not really like a business-driven topic or conversation. It's more just, let's have some fun. We miss being in your offices. We miss seeing you guys. We miss that first 10 minutes of any time we walk into an office, which is always, how's the kids? How's the grandkids? How was your recent trip? It's really just designed to allow us to get to know you and for you to get to know us. And then we have the travel advisor care package. So we've been sending emails out to you guys every once in a while that really is just dedicated at making sure that we know you're taking care of your clients, but we want to make sure you're taking care of you as well. So this means a lot to us because obviously travel advisors are such a large part of our business and our main focus. And so we just want to continue to make sure that we're having some customer check-ins. We provide some lifestyle tips, some recipes, some self-development activities, and other aids to really help prioritize you during this period. You know, I tell my team all the time that, you know, if you need to get up and go for a walk, get up and go for a walk. If you need to, you know, take a break for a half hour, take a break for a half hour. Working from home is not always the easiest. And I know many of us have been used to, I know I've been working for years from home, but I still have to make sure, like, I get up from my office and go stretch for a little bit, or I get up and take a half hour at lunch and go for a walk instead. Like, you have to, you know, make sure you're taking care of you, especially during these days where, you know, after the last 8 weeks, let's be honest, we've been beat up quite a bit, right? We need to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. In terms of our fall events, we have unfortunately canceled the majority of our events. However, our Ascend conference, which was going to be in Cancun, has now been changed to a virtual conference. So that is currently planned for September 23rd and 24th. We'll get more details to you as they come about. But we will essentially be doing a 3 to 4 hour event each day with different workshops. We're going to have some sort of virtual supplier trade show. We're going to do a general session with some guest speakers. Everything's still sort of in motion and in progress of getting figured out. But stay tuned for more information. Mark it down on your calendar for the 23rd and 24th. And I do hope that you'll be able to join us for those days. And that's kind of that in a nutshell. So I'll turn it over to Joni for a little bit. I know we have a little bit of time to go over some questions if anything came in.
That's fantastic. That was really great. Thank you so much, Jim. Great information. Yeah, we do have some questions, and some of them I'm going to just kind of bunch into a one question and kind of let you take that. And that is that folks are just asking, kind of how you've been very great, by the way, about sharing what's going on right now, but can you give us a little bit of an overview on what's happening in terms of, bookings, refunds, cancellations, and all that? Just kind of an overview of that?
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I had to take a sip of water. I got very New Jersey on you guys. I talked very quick there. So in terms of the refunds and transfers and the rebook recharge and all that stuff. So let me take a step back actually. So I want you guys to all realize that I acknowledge that this has not been the easiest of process for anyone involved. I also want to acknowledge that I understand that a lot of changes in policies and some initial process in the beginning of this all caused some frustration, and a lot of it was due to us changing certain things. So I apologize for any frustration that it has caused, and I think that that's just important I put that out there. Honesty and transparency, if you've heard me speak or have heard me even say these words before, it truly does mean the world to me that I believe everyone needs to be honest and transparent here because it's the only way that we can build a partnership. So I want to recognize that I realize that it's been frustrating. I also want to recognize, though, that while our decision to put the 125 into the marketplace has kind of set us back a bit, I do still firmly believe that it was the right decision for you. And that's what I want to explain. So when this all started 8 weeks ago or 9 weeks ago now, we kind of aligned with what the airlines would do and just said, all right, whatever the airlines do, we'll just kind of follow because we're always going to be bound by their policies anyway. And that was like on a Tuesday. And then by Friday, destinations were closing, airlines were canceling and not even going. We had to figure out how customers were going to get home, figure out what customers were going to do that were traveling in the next couple of days. And the refund requests were coming in fast and furious. And we knew that that wasn't a sustainable business model for us or you. And so the cruise lines had already put out the 125 offer, and it seemed to be going really well and well accepted. So we decided that the smart thing would be to do the same. Now, what we were not expecting was for this to go on as long as it has. And what we were not expecting was truly how manual it would be for us on the back end to do so. Because every booking that has canceled, it is a manual calculation. We have to figure out what the refund would be because remember, we don't own the product. So we're still bound by the airline and the hotel policies. So we have to manually figure out the additional 25% and manually figure out the refund. Now, that's no excuse. I'm just being honest with you as to why some of the backup has happened. We're also dealing with tens of thousands, tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of bookings that have canceled in a 1 week period. No business, no matter how large or small, is designed to really handle the level that has come in. On top of that, we've had to go through some furloughs in order to try and make sure that we can continue to be a good provider for you and until the industry stabilizes. So yes, we are behind right now, and we're sitting at about up to 60 days for refunds. And we're sitting at about the same point for transfers and for the future travel credit. I can tell you that we are sending about 2,000 refunds a night since this has started. We are sending about just each week, sending about 10,000 emails out of calculations that have been done to just re-verify if you want the future travel credit or want the refund. We are giving you an opportunity to select then in that email if you selected refund and you now that you see the calculation, you may say, oh, well, you know what, my clients actually want the future travel credit. We're giving you the opportunity to change. And yes, I agree that that is slowing the process down a bit and making sure it all gets processed. But I will say that the percentage of agents that have spoken up and actually clicked, yes, my clients want the future travel credit, is so high that it's making it worth us to take that extra step. And for some of you, it's frustrating. For some of you, you're loving it. But I want to make sure that that's clear because it is helping save business in your agency. If I could change this overnight, I certainly would. But like I said, we're working as hard as we possibly can to get these refunds and everything out the door as soon as possible. We are sitting at about 60 days for turnaround time on refunds and transfers and everything. I do highly, highly recommend, though, that if you are waiting, let's say, for a transfer, please just go into that self-help page and just make sure you did, in fact, fill out all the proper paperwork that's necessary for those bookings. You did have to make a new booking and put the $1 on the new file, but you did still have to go in and fill out a transfer form to make sure that that money moves from the first booking over to the second booking. So a lot of people, what I'm finding is they're asking about transfers, and then I'm finding out when I do some research that the form was never filled out. So just make sure that that is filled out as well. I get that, and I'm sorry this is a long-winded answer, but I think it's important I explain all this. The other part to it that I think I would be wrong if I didn't explain is just the overall resources. We have a team of about 75, I think, or 80 people in our accounting team that are currently working on this. But I think we have to realize that right now, vast majority of them are working on calculating what those refunds and future travel credits are. And then the other half of them are actually processing it all. But that accounting team is also responsible for commission protections from canceled bookings. It's responsible for the transfers. It's responsible for adjustments. It's responsible for a bunch of other things. And so until we can sort of get through more of these calculations, we can then move that group of team over to another area to help expedite those. So I do think it's going to be a little bit longer of us at that 60-day mark, but I am confident that as we move further into chipping away at this boulder and getting more and more refunds out the door, we'll be able to move around some of our teams to help in other areas that may be falling back as we try to increase the effort to push refunds forward. So
Jim,
I know
thank
that's
you.
a lot of information.
No, it's not. That was wonderful because actually that was a great way and has answered a whole lot of the questions that have been coming up, during your presentation. So thank you for that. I think was very clear. I, for one, appreciate your transparency. I think anybody on this call does. Nobody's happy with the way things have been going, and for any of us in the last few months. Question, and we got to get through this together. So I appreciate your honesty there. So thank you for that. Let me, if I could ask you a question, a couple of questions that came up about Uplift.
Sure.
Does the client still need to make the initial deposit with the Uplift program? And then along with that question is, if you use Uplift, do you get a timely commission, or do they have to wait till they've paid off their loan?
Yeah, so all right, so let me take that in two parts. So with Uplift, the client doesn't have to pay anything. They can apply. It's like they're applying for a credit card almost. They fill out the form. They get contacted by Uplift. They do a very soft credit check on them, and then if approved, then it's basically okay, approved, and Uplift sends Apple Leisure Group the amount in full right away. So when you log into Vax, once that money's applied, you will see that it's been paid in full. You don't have to do anything. And you'll make your commission at the normal time of travel, just like you normally would after travel. You don't have to wait for them to pay it off. That's essentially on them to then pay it off in however long it takes them to pay it off. You're not responsible for it. We're not responsible for it. It's their agreement with Uplift. But nothing changes from your commission perspective. Nothing changes from when you receive your commission. If anything, you actually get to take off of your plate the ability to the need to have to follow up for additional payments because Uplift sends us the payment right away. Now, I will just take that one step further for you that if anyone used Uplift and has now canceled because of the coronavirus situation, what is happening is we are prioritizing some of those to make sure that those refunds are done first because clients are still responsible for the 12 months of payments. So what's happening is we will then take the money that we have on file, refund it to those clients, and then it's on them to make sure they send that money to Uplift to essentially pay their loan in full. They can choose just to take that money, But just like a credit card or anything else like that, they would still be responsible for the debt that they have now with Uplift directly. And I'm telling you that because the reason we're prioritizing some of the Uplift ones is because we don't want them to have to incur additional interest charges on a vacation they know they're not going to take. So we're trying to expedite those refunds as quick as we possibly can so that we can send them the money so that they can apply it to their loan and be done with it. So it's just paid in full and they don't have to worry about it.
Perfect. Okay, thank you. There's a couple questions that are similar here, and they're asking, again, it's going back to the travel credit, but there's so many other questions. I thought maybe you could clear this up for the folks. Is there a place on your site somewhere where they can view how the travel credit has been calculated or the status of it without having to, call you and email?
Yeah, so the short answer to that is no. The long answer to that is that I'm hoping in the very near future, now that we've extended it, that there will be some additional ways like a calculator and things like that you'll be able to use. The problem, and this is what I meant earlier when I said we didn't really think through how long this would likely go and how much of a manual process it is that we're starting now to introduce some additional additional automation to help calculate these right away. It's very confusing to tell you right off the bat because with airlines, everything is different. You could have two clients that have the exact same thing booked, but if one is on a published ticket and one is on a bulk ticket, it's very different as to how the change would ultimately work. If one is on a charter flight or one's on a bulk ticket, it's very different. There's so many different components to figure in, even right down to when did you cancel versus when did the destination close? When did you cancel versus when did the airline cancel the flight? And that all affects what the policy then would be. So unfortunately, there's no way for you just to go on. If you have TPP, we will have the calculator very soon for you to easily figure out the 25%. That's something we're looking into. But right now, it's one thing where I know we're falling a little short in trying to at least get you some updates. We are going to start trying to send out some additional emails just so that you can see maybe like where it's at. But it's still a work in progress. I'd be lying if I said it was going to happen anytime in the next week or so.
Well, thank you. Okay. And somebody's asking a little bit about BDMs. So is there a place on VAX or someplace where they can go to find out who their BDM is?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you go to the VAX Vacation Access and you go to the education page, there's a new PDF that we've uploaded there with all of the BDM contacts. So there's two things with the BDMs. We've gone multi-brand, meaning that from now on moving forward, one person will be your rep for all 6 brands. And we did that because I guarantee you when you would go in, if you were booking more than one brand of ours, you were probably talking about the other brand while speaking to that BDM for, Apple Vacations, you were talking about FunJet Vacations and so on. So it just makes more sense to give you that one-stop shop to have all your issues or escalations or frustrations and kudos and all that stuff, marketing plans filtered through one person. I like to think of my BDM team as an extension of your agency. We essentially are like that extra travel agent in your office, right? So we're a business partner. We want to make sure that you're successful. And so to have one person that can talk to you about business in general across the board is going to really help you. We've also had to go through some furloughs, and I do hope to welcome all your BDMs back very soon. But until then, you can go on to the VAX Vacation Access page, see the list of BDMs that are currently active in our team. We have about 24 across the U.S. Still, and so you can see who your local BDM is, and then and contact them in the meantime. And they're more than open with telling you if they're filling in for the time being or whether they would be your full-time BDM.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. Someone's asking if it's possible. I know you've got the Q&A page up there, but someone says if they could possibly get the best web link to use they said they're having trouble trying to Google exactly the best place to go. So is there one site that they can go to and go from there?
Yes. Everything is on our www.vacationaccess.com. Perfect. Of those everything can be found there. You obviously need a username and log on. But as long as you do bookings with us, you should have that and understand VAX, and everything's there.
And that along that lines, a perfect entry to this question. If an agency isn't currently working with Apple Leisure Group Vacations and wants to work with them, how would they go about joining and setting up with you?
Yeah, of course, we'd love that. Go to vaxvacationaccess.com and you'll be able to create an account there.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Well, a lot of the questions, I just want to let everybody know that many of these questions will be passed on to our speaker and Jim and his staff, and I'm sure they'll answer those that have not already been answered here and could be answered by them privately. I appreciate everybody's interest in all these questions and things that are going on. You know, these are without question unprecedented times. Nobody really knows, you know, what to expect next, and we just got to, you know, hang in there and have an open mind. I do have to say that a couple of the people have written in here and said what an excellent presentation and how much they appreciated that. You know, really, yeah, it's not easy talking about things that aren't the most fun sometimes, you know. So
No.
I admire your attitude, and you did a great job. It was really helpful. So I think we probably are. You have any last moment, anything you'd like to say? And otherwise, I think we're pretty good. I want to thank everybody for being here today. Jim, anything you want to close with?
Yeah, you know, I'll just say that, you know, I get asked quite a bit, you know, when I think everything will start to turn around. And I always like to say, you know what, consumer confidence will come back when agent confidence comes back. So please rely on us to help give you that confidence and that knowledge that you need to feel confident in talking about travel again and getting out there with specials and promos and utilize all that social content that I talked about today. Us starting the conversation is going to be key in growing this industry again and growing it back to what we know it's capable of. And please know that we are here for you every step of the way. Your success is our success, and I cannot stress that enough. So please rely on us. Let us be your business partner. Let us be your friend in travel and your partner in travel here to get this industry back to where it needs to be. So I wish you all nothing but the best. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend as well.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm a firm believer in attitude is everything, and I think you've got a fantastic attitude that comes across in your presentation, so thank you. And to all the agents out there, you guys are amazing. You keep doing what you're doing, and you make me so proud to be a part of this industry. So thanks, everybody, for being here today with us, and have a wonderful rest of your week, and as he said, a great weekend as well. Thank you.
Take care, guys.